Alright, so enter Elizabeth Olsen. She is one of the most popular characters in Marvel, playing the character of the Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda, but doing the role, it's not clear if she's ever coming back, where she's had a lot of issues with Marvel in the past, including how they keep on changing the character's origin, and this is why Marvel's really changed the character a lot over the years. When Elizabeth Olsen originally signed on to play the character of the Scarlet Witch Wanda in Avengers Age of Ultron, the original storyline had the character of Pietro actually living out the entire movie. The problem was there was a big rights dispute between these two characters where they were actually owned by Marvel and Disney, and the reason is because they're X-Men but also Avengers. So when Fox bought the rights to X-Men in 1994 for $2.4 million, they were able to do it, but Marvel was also able to introduce them as long as they don't call them mutants. When Marvel decided they were going to use the rights for Wanda and Pietro, that made Fox really unhappy that they were going to introduce them to the public before they did, so they actually changed around the story for X-Men Days of Futures Past, which originally had Juggernaut in it. Replaced the Juggernaut by introducing Quicksilver that was going to aid in the breakout scene instead of Juggernaut, and that was just a direct attack on Marvel, which Marvel didn't care for. So because Marvel didn't like the idea their character would be used in the same movie as a Fox film with a different actor, they decided to rewrite the script for Avengers 2, having it so that the character Pietro was killed off, but they also rewrote Elizabeth Olsen's character going forward, where originally she was supposed to be a happier character, but now had to be a more isolated and jaded person. And then making Age of Ultron, they also just made some other changes Elizabeth Olsen wasn't the biggest fan of, where they downgraded her character's power, where originally in the earlier script she was supposed to have the power to control the entire world, but they realized that was just too much power to the point it made Ultron seem weak. And also at the same time, one thing that really bothered Elizabeth Olsen was the outfit choice, where they gave her this schoolgirl outfit, which she just thought was weird. There were also some changes for how they envisioned the character of Wanda in the later movies, with the big example being in Avengers Infinity War, where in early scripts the character of Wanda was actually supposed to kill Thanos in the first movie, but they decided against it. With the first big reason for the change being they wanted to go with the Thanos wins mark, ending Infinity War on a bad note. And they did consider actually keeping Wanda around for Avengers Endgame in the beginning to have her be the one to actually kill Thanos, but they decided against it, saying it would be a takeaway from Captain Marvel and Brie Larson's character, who they wanted to build up more. The next was after Avengers Endgame, and that was the show WandaVision, where when Elizabeth Olsen signed up for that, they originally gave her a completely different script where her character wasn't a villain at all, and the story itself was very different, where it wasn't this parody on TV. And weirdly enough, they did the exact same thing again making Doctor Strange 2, where when she signed up for that, she was told her character wouldn't be made a villain, and it wasn't until midway through the movie they decided to rewrite it to have her character be the main villain, which she didn't really care for as an actress because she did one role planning an ending that was one way, but then was told to do a completely different role, so basically she had to change her performance. Yeah, at this point it's not really clear if Elizabeth Olsen ever comes back, and honestly, while I do think her character has been well handled, I could see being an actor who's known for doing more indie and serious roles could get pretty upset being tied to these roles that are so decided on in post-production over actual performances. But with that, I'm Charles Sproul. Please subscribe to learn something.